Hello and welcome to the 5th episode of Noblesse. This episode literally stepped it up to 11. The anime so far has been teetering along at maybe like a 6 or a 5, just chilling out, doing its thing. This episode just went balls to the wall, that's it. This episode kind of took a turn, didn't it? It took a bit of a turn. I wasn't expecting a few things to happen. Obviously, we'll chill out, we're here together, we're going to discuss it as it goes through. Also, thank you guys for your comments on the last video. You definitely helped cover a few things. Obviously, I had a few questions and you guys definitely stepped up and answered them. Thank you guys so much. Definitely appreciate it. I'm so glad that I didn't actually stop airing this anime. I know at one point I was so close to dropping it because it was an okay anime. It just stepped it up to 11. I am so glad that I'm watching. Today's title was A Friend's Hand / Fight For. Essentially, the open, not a lot to say. It really was just to remind us that the situation we're in. Shark has captured Regis, Manabu, and Yu, and Silver and Takio and Tao they're bearing witness to the situation. This week's episode definitely sorted a few little bits and pieces out, but we've definitely set up bigger challenges in that retrospective. We find out that the cuffs that Regis is wearing was designed to suppress people with powers. I think the Union have created quite a few little toys, and we're seeing quite a few of them play out in this episode. We see Regis staring directly at Silver, who decides that he's going to completely turn away, ignore him, which doesn't really help Regis's opinion of him. For about half of this episode, Silver essentially, or M21 if you're new to the channel and you don't realise that I'm calling him Silver, I am calling him Silver just because I want to give him a proper human name because he's more than just a number to me, so I gave him a name. I thought Silver was quite a cool name to call him. For about half of this episode, Silver pretty much plays the whole I don't know these guys. And sure, he's doing it to protect them, but at the same time, it ends up being a bit of a catch-22 where he's damned if he does and doesn't. He wants to fulfill his promise, so he's trying to keep face with the Union members because he believes that they're going to give him the names of his comrades. It's kind of a situation where I don't think he was ever actually in a position to get that information or ever really in a position to barter. I think I said it last episode that I think his plan didn't really follow through. It didn't really make sense, as it really did seem that he was just kind of handing himself over. Sierra briefly explains what the connection between her and Regis is to Franken and Raz. It's very similar to telepathy, or do you guys know when they say two twins are born and they apparently can sense when the other's in danger? I don't know if these guys are twins. They're probably not. We haven't had that information thrown at us just yet. It is definitely the same where it can only be disrupted if Regis is unconscious or dead. She explains this to Franken and Raz, who she's oh wait, this doesn't make any sense to you guys, because she believes they're normal human beings. Where she's enjoy the food, and she heads out all on her own. Cutting back to Shark. Shark believes that Regis is connected to the coffin. I really do hope at some point we do get some more information on this. I could be wrong, but I kind of don't think Regis is connected to the coffin. I think he's actually looking for it. Silver is denying that he knows them. Essentially, he's trying to place doubt in Shark's head that he is connected to the guys, and he's hoping that he's going to be okay, well, he's not connected, I'm going to let them go. However, we've kind of seen so far that Shark is a murderer. He went around killing every single person that Takio left alive. So there's definitely not going to happen. As much as Silver's trying to be positive that he can swing him around and stop him from killing the guys, I don't think you stand a chance. I don't think there was ever a chance that he wouldn't attack him. Yu wakes up and it kind of gets more and more awkward where he spots Takio and obviously he knows him. Manabu then realizes it's Tao, where he still uses Anaki's brother. The subs I'm reading say boss. I don't know which it is. I feel like brother fits. Maybe it's boss. I still think brother fitted better. We now get to see Sierra flying, where she picks up the connection again. But behind her, it's the first time we've seen these guys doing anything, Raz and Franken are flying behind her. And I think I said last episode, I really want to see Raz do something, because up until now, he hasn't done anything. And even till the end of episode 5, where we finally see him ramping up and finally appearing, we haven't seen anything of him for nearly half of this first season. So I hope it's worth the wait. So I really hope next episode we get to see what the fuss was all about, and that Raz is actually worth waiting for. I'm anticipating episode 6. I'm really looking forward to seeing what he can bring to the table. Malibu, it starts to plead with Silver. So he kind of pleads to him. He's like, why am I here? Obviously, he can't figure out why he's ignoring them both. He can't piece together why suddenly Silver is against him and he's on the wrong side. Silver, again, ignores everybody because he's trying to protect them. I don't know, guys. I'm very conflicted with his behaviour. So seeing Silver acting the way he did kind of annoyed me a little bit. But I understand that obviously he sees no other ways of getting around this because he still wants to keep that promise until he eventually decides that he needs to protect the children. As soon as Hammer said that he needed more food and he was going to head up, I was like, ooh, this is an opening. Hammer has created an opening. He's separated away from the main group, so something is going to happen. So I kind of figured that Sierra would meet up with him anyway, where Silver continues to maintain that he has no deep connection to the kids. So Silver still does nothing. Last episode I said that Tao and Takeo, I was warming to them. To be fair, guys, if I had to put one above the other, I'm warming more to Tao than Takeo right now. I'm just anticipating what might happen next episode. So Tao, I'm impressed with because he actually steps up and he goes, we don't actually need to kill them. Why don't we just wipe their memories? Which is cool because I think we found out that Raz and Franklin wiped Yu and Manabu's memories during the event, which we saw briefly mentioned. So we know that the Union can also do it. So they've got a drug which also replicates that power, which is quite cool. But Krantz is like, no, we leave no loose end. But we've already seen this, so we already knew the protocol last episode where Krantz is like, we leave no loose end. It's protocol to wipe out all the loose ends to protect their own identity. I think he mentioned it briefly when Takeo and Shark were talking. Krantz, I was always, as soon as I saw him, I was like, he's definitely not a character to mess with. His character design stands out. It definitely speaks volumes of how he's designed. But at the same time, he's definitely a character who just shouts, don't mess with me. And I had all my reasons to feel like this. He essentially says, go ahead and kill them. Where Takeo and Tao are both bothered. It's definitely an order they don't want. They don't want to see Yu or Malibu dead. Yu, being the hero he is, he goes to try and stop Shark for attacking Malibu. Like, he grabs hold of his leg and he tries to stop him and slow him down. We can see him going to try and kill Malibu, and Regis steps back up. And I wasn't Regis's big fan. I'm not really a fan on Tsundere's. When he stepped up, I was like, oh my god, my respect level kind of jumping through the roof. Where he accuses Shark of basically bullying the weak. All you can do, even though you've got a bit of power, is bully the weak, which he's trying to trigger Shark to stop him attacking the humans, because obviously his duty as a Noblesse is to protect them, where we see Shark start to attack Regis. This whole episode literally gave me anxiety to watch. Hammer and Sierra meet up when we then see Regis getting beaten up by Shark. It is actually really painful to watch. I'm not going to lie. It is painful to watch him beating up Regis. Because even though, again, he's not my favourite character, I, again, don't want to see a character who I'm kind of rooting for at the same time get beaten up. Where Silver just does nothing. He's still doing absolutely nothing. And it's actually Yu who tries to stop Shark, where he punches him directly in the cheek. He does manage to land a blow, which is quite cool. So as Yu tries to stop Shark, this leads to Silver eventually going, no, don't do that. And he finally calls his name, where it's kind of a game over at that point. To be fair, I think the game was already over as soon as they caught Silver. He's blown his cover. We now know that he definitely does know Yu's first name. Sierra and the Hammer have a bit of a brief kind of face-off where we've already seen Hammer use these explosives. They look like little tiny balls which glow, and he kind of throws them, and it doesn't really affect her. She kind of is still standing, and she's able to slash Hammer throughout all the fog. The second explosion rings out and leads us back to the screenshot downstairs where we can see Yu punching at Shark. Takeo, who you can see he's trying to interfere because obviously he kind of cares about Yu because he had that brief moment last episode where he relates to him. He's the same age as his sister. Takeo ends up getting sent upstairs by Krantz to go back up Hammer because of the explosion that we've heard. And that's when Silver says, I'll make a deal with you. I'm going to give you the information, but you need to let the kids go. You want to find out about the agents who have disappeared, which I believe is Jake and Maria. I want to know about these two because these names keep getting brought up again and again. So not only does like these guys are trying to look for them, I want to know, Silver. Tell me about these guys. Who are they? Are they alive? Are we going to meet them? Because we keep hearing these names repeated. Krantz doubles down again. You leave no loose ends. You starts to get strangled, and it looks pretty bad. Like, there's a point when I thought you was going to die, and I was like, no, this is it. Is Noblesse the kind of anime that's going to kill off main characters? I feel like none of the characters are safe at the moment. This whole episode was just anxiety inducing. I kind of felt my heart going, oh no, oh no, oh no. Silver, we can see having a bit of a clash. He's not sure. So he's like, what am I doing? I promised to get my comrades' names, but now I'm failing at fulfilling that promise. He gets like a bit of a vision sequence where he sees M24. He puts an arm on his shoulder and pushes him forward. The only reason I'm alive right now is because of my comrades. Now, doubling down and starting to take a 360 causes a very confused Regis on the floor, where Silver looks at him finally and goes, the rest is up to you. See Silver go in to attack Shark finally, which saves Yu's life. I think if he hadn't gone for Yu at this point, he would have probably been suffocated to death. And he says, I'll see my comrades in hell, to apologise. Malibu calls out to the old dude, and we get a nice little moment where he goes, you need to stop calling me that. And he's got that nice grin on his face. It's like, finally, Silver is back, and I'm happy he's back to being on our side, and I can root for him again. We get Raz and Frankin, who find Takio. And this is what was the most anxiety-inducing for me, because I like Takio. But we all know that Frankin is my boy. He is like my favourite character. And just the fight between them both gave me anxiety because I want to root for both of them. But I don't want to see either of them hurt. But then I don't want to see the bad side or like the Union win. I actually don't know who to root for because I want them both to win. It's awkward. I'm really confused, guys. I'm so conflicted. It's nice to see Frankin finally start to use his powers. They're purple. I really like that. And that gun, I said it before, I'm saying it again. Please, can I have Takio's gun? Please, can I have this gun? This gun is so sexy. I love it. It fires like these blue beams out of it, and I don't know if it's like plasma, and I have a feeling it's probably a Union toy. I love it. We're seeing a lot of gadgets that I'm presuming are all Union created, which is quite cool. Like the bombs that Hammer uses and this now, and especially the drug, the D. It definitely feels like there's a lot of really fun toys I want to see more of from the Union. And as my boys fight, I was initially going, yay, Franklin looks like he's handling himself. But that kind of goes up in smoke when he ends up staring down the barrel of Takio's second gun. Heading back to Sierra versus Hammer, we see another toy. So I believe this is probably another creation by the Union. It looks like a rocket launcher, but the way that it powers up and starts to gather energy makes me wonder if it's like a blast almost. It's going to be like a energy blast or I need to see more of this. Obviously, they kind of cut it and then that's the end of that, so we don't really see what happens. We get Silver versus Shark. It looks like Shark is at his limit, so you can definitely see that he's at his limit. He even calls out to Krantz, can't hold back, I want to kill him. Krantz doesn't help, and I regret even writing this down. I've even written down, why isn't Krantz helping? Why is he doing nothing? Oh, I was so wrong. This is almost like one of those pictures where it's a moments before disaster happens, where it's taken before the crap goes down, which happens the end of this sequence. I've gone, why isn't Krantz doing anything? Oh, I should have shut my mouth. And he tells Shark, go ahead, kill everybody. He aims blast towards the kids. Silver blocks it and he loses his shirt. And I'm like, oh, wow, it was that powerful. It blew off his clothes. All the time, Silver is obviously blocking and trying to protect the kids. He's having a crisis of conscience where he's questioning his own actions. He's like, well, I'm protecting them, but then what about my promise? And then we do see him get back up, and he has taken a blow to the chest where he's bleeding a lot. It's definitely the blow that I think ended up finishing, pretty much knocking him out of commission by the end of the sequence. Regis now, who is really angry, he's like, are you going to die? Before anybody gets to understand what was the reasons behind your actions. I'm going to repay you by doing the same. And he blows off these cuffs like they are nothing. So I don't know why he didn't do it before. maybe it was because he wanted to watch the situation play out a bit more, but obviously he was seeing you and Manabu getting smacked around. He literally slams Shark backwards with this blow into a wall. Silver then faints onto Regis, and it's just, this moment was just the only precious glint in the darkness that is this anime, which is anxiety inducing for me. It was such a nice scene just seeing him kind of fate on him going, well, you're late. And he's like, oh, well, you should be grateful that I saved you. I love that. They're still arguing, even though Silver's like half dead on him. Let's go back to Anxiety and Becca's Hell, where we see Takeo versus Franken. These are literally my babies, and I am so sad. Where Takeo uses the D power, and he kind of emits a blue light, and he is even more faster than before. Franken already kind of ending up at the barrel of his gun. I'm like, this isn't gonna end well. I'm excited for next week, but also I'm really anxious and I don't want to see next week because I don't want to see Franken get hurt. I'm like, no, he's my baby. I love him. Please don't hurt him. But then I don't want to see Takeo hurt either. I'm just so conflicted. Let's kick back to Shark versus Regis. And this is probably the most WTF moment in this episode. Shark isn't holding up at all, where Regis goes in to deliver the final blow, and Krantz gets in the way. And I'm like, oh my god, of course he's getting in the way because, you know, we're finally seeing Krantz get involved. And he just immediately eats the drug and he uses the powers. He grows huge. And if you remember last week, I kind of criticised Shark's final form, essentially. And I was like, it's very top heavy, it's out of proportion. They got it right with this guy. They actually got it right with Krantz, where he grows like double the size. He's a giant. He emits this really like dark blue glow. And he's in proportion. He's actually in proportion. But he goes Super Saiyan. His hair is blonde. It's like he's gone Super Saiyan. And as I was admiring this new form, he punches Shark through the stomach. And I'm like, what? So we get this moment where he punches him. The screen splits and everybody's like, what? Me at the bottom going, what? Oh my god, what? I was not expecting him to just turn around and just finish off Shark. Well, Shark is definitely RIP. He's dead. We've definitely lost one of the union members, but at what cost have we lost him? Krantz says, I am following the original plan. The D drug wasn't designed to make the others stronger. It was basically designed to help magnify my strength, where he drains him of pretty much his life force, his energy, and he tosses him away like he is garbage. And it is, rest in peace, Shark. I'm not shedding a tear. I didn't like his character whatsoever. But now that we've lost Shark, something worse has kind of stepped up in his place. It reminds me of there's a saying that goes like, as soon as you topple one bad person, something worse steps up and replaces them. It's definitely that kind of situation where Regis versus Krantz deform. Yeah, no. It's painful. It's as if we're seeing Regis getting beaten up to this point was painful. This is even worse because Krantz's form is super fast. Despite being how big he is, and that is not an innuendo, he is so fast. And Regis just doesn't stand a chance. He slams him to the floor, where we can definitely see Krantz is at an entire new level. But Regis tries to fire a blast right directly at him. And we can see how powerful it is because Silver has to step up and protect the children from the blast. But Krantz is just standing there, unaffected, not even a scratch on his body. And he just kind of responds by punching Regis through the ceiling. And it is a rest in peace Regis moment. I don't think he's dead, but he's out. He's not coming back to fight or anything. He's definitely out for the count because even Krantz is like, I'm going to leave you alive because I need information on the coffin. Because even him as well, he thinks that he's got information. Which makes me think maybe he does, but I'm still like, I'm 50-50 whether he has actually got the information. Silver says, I'm going to try and buy the kid some time to escape, but he just collapses. He doesn't have any power. He's also lost a lot of blood. This is when he walks in through the door. Raz finally shows up. The bit I'm looking forward to next week, seeing Raz. The bit I'm not looking forward to, seeing Franken get his ass handed to him. Really, really nervous. I don't want to see... I like both Takeo and Franken. Franken is obviously top boy, but I don't want to see... like my second top boy hitting first top boy. I'm just nervous. The end sequence essentially is just repeating the same scene with Raz and Franken landing on the roof, but it stops with Raz biting into a uncooked block of dried noodles. We know normally if there's ramen on the channel, it gets a seal of approval. Now you might think I'm gonna not give the seal of approval. However, in Japan, there is a snack which is dried ramen and you can eat it. And I've eaten it and it's actually not as bad as you think. I wouldn't recommend eating a block noodle from this. It's 50-50. I seen him for literally biting a chunk out of a block which needs to be cooked. But there is a snack where you can eat it, a dried ramen in chunks. It's kind of like eating crisps, essentially, where they're just dried, broken down, and you can buy them in a bag like a packet of crisps and you can eat them. That was the episode. I'm gonna have so much anxiety now leading up to next Wednesday, guys. I don't know, guys. I'm so worried. I'm so worried. I don't want to see Franken get hurt. I mean, sure, he's a main character, but I don't know enough about the monster that is Noblesse. Are they going to kill off a character? I don't know. I'm so worried. To be fair, I almost thought Silver was dead when they knocked him down and he was on the floor. He tries to get up. He falls down again. I was like, wait, no, is Silver going to die? Obviously, he does respond when he sees Raz walking in, so I don't think he's gonna die. But it's just what an emotional roller coaster of an episode it was. I'm so nervous. I'm sorry, guys. And it's gonna take me a bit of a while to kind of just get over the episode itself. Right, I've got some very fun information for you guys. I have just launched a Discord channel. My own channel. It's going to be obviously so slow building. I'm going to put the official link in the comment section, or the information for this video, I'm going to put it in. I have had the magnificent help of Mr. Venom Heart, who he kind of does this kind of thing. He sets up Discord channels and is quite good at moderating. So if I ever do my live stream idea, I will be using him as a moderator anyway. But we have got a channel. It's going to be slow building. There's not a lot on. There's like the room's set up, but nothing's going on right now. But it's definitely going to be the place to be for when we go into live streaming and stuff. So it's the foundations of the thing I want to happen. So obviously I don't have enough of a fan base yet, but it is the first steps in trying to achieve the goal that I want. And that is to have my own cosplay anime community, both. Have an anime community where what I might start doing as well, as of next week, I'm going to be doing a cosplay, an anime question of the week. So I'll be asking, in all of my releases, it'll be the same question each week. I'm going to be asking a question and you guys can answer in the comments. And I think I might feature the best or the most liked comment or something. So it's going to be something that we try and do. Obviously, as a growing channel, I'm trying to broaden the bits we do, make it more interactive. I want you guys to feel more interactive too. Please do, if you are on Discord, just hit the channel. You're not going to get much of a notification right now because not a lot's going to be happening. But I am going to be intending to use it as a platform for later on. There is also at some point this week or maybe at the weekend, I'm going to be working with a couple more gamer YouTubers where we hang out. We're going to record some videos of Age of Empires as us chilling out and trying to kill each other in skirmish mode. So that is to look forward to. So make sure you are subscribed and hit the bell. I don't have a way of informing you guys other than discussion right now. But again, all the discussion stuff on the channel, you should be able to see it. If there's any updates on videos or delays, like I've had a delay this week with Ikebukuro because I've had a very busy week, but all the information is getting posted there. So make sure you are subscribed and you give the page a follow and a like and do the magical thing. Also, thank you guys for last week's support. You guys were I think Noblesse, out of all the releases, actually won first place for the top performing video last week, which is something compared to the fact that Moriarty is my big pusher of the season. So you guys are doing fantastic and I am so appreciatively. The reminder of the release schedule: Sunday, Monday is Moriarty the Patriot. Come in for some detective work if you're interested in history as well, or Victorian era. I break down a lot of the Victorian aspects and the English culture aspects, so come join us or pick it up. I've got a backlog of videos for you to now watch. Monday, Tuesday we see Golden Kamui season 3. Come and check out my reactions to the current airing season. Wednesday mornings will be Ikebukuro Westgate Park. However, this week's episode is being released on Friday. I am sticking with it, so if you were unsure, I have decided that I'm going to release it regardless of the downvoters, so I'm just going to go for it because I feel bad dropping an anime, especially if I'm enjoying it. Noblesse, you guys love your Noblesse. Noblesse is Wednesday, Thursdays. Friday to Saturday mornings essentially is Journey of Elena. Having a great fun-packed season. I'm loving full season so far. I know Attack on Titan is coming up, and I am the biggest Attack on Titan fan ever. I've even read the manga. I'm not sure if I'm going to release on it yet, so I will need to fish around with you guys, see if it's worth it, because I do know a lot of the bigger channels are going to cover it, and because I'm so tiny, I'll get buried, so I don't know. I've got to figure out if it's worth doing that yet. So lots coming your way. I hope you guys are relaxing, enjoying the week, having a good one, staying safe as well, and I will see you guys again for another episode next week. Bye bye, guys.